Good morning, everybody. Welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Saturday, May 27th. I'm standing next to the Kaagbaan runway 06. At the moment, one of the two runways in use for arrivals. Although I think it will change soon enough. It is still early. Polderbaan is now also in use in southerly direction for arrivals as runway 18 right. But the prevailing wind is still from the north east to east. So I am expecting that the Polderbaan will be used for departures soon, like it did yesterday. Let me make a quick adjustment to the way I have my panhandle set up. I think this might be easier to follow the airplanes. Good morning, Jean-Yves. Good morning, Gosse. Good morning, Michael Jackson. Hey Wilma, goedemorgen, good morning. Alright, let's see. Where is the incoming traffic coming from? There it is. Hey there, Simrajit, good morning. Paul Usher, good morning, my friend. I was going through the chat yesterday. I think I missed your message, Paul. You asked me if I saw MVG the other day. And I have absolutely no idea what you were referring to, who or what you were referring to. But I missed the question altogether in the chat yesterday, but let me make good on that today. Who or what is MVG? It doesn't ring a bell to me. Probably says more about me than anything. Hey Lane, goedemorgen. Good morning, Afrodite. Christina, good morning. Happy Saturday to you too. 68 Twig, good morning. So this is Vueling in their old livery. I have to say I like the dots better than this somewhat dull livery, but hey, it has more color than a lot of other operators use, so kudos to them for that. Ah, Michael van Gerwen. I know who he is. I think I will pick him up if you show me 3 pictures of bald guys. I think I will be able to recognize him and pick him out of the 3, but I'm not a real darts fan. Is there a obviously there is a competition going on, otherwise you wouldn't have asked me about it. But no, I am very much oblivious to what is going on in the world of darts. So I didn't see him. Michael van Gerwen, of course. So we have Max and MVG representing Dutch sports at the moment. Hey Rick, goedemorgen, good morning. Can't stay for too long though. Wat is dat nou? Krijgen we na? Nah man, if you have other things to do, I said it before, other stuff goes first. And besides, it is lovely weather. It is 11 degrees centigrade out here at the moment. The sun is out. as this Delta A330-300 arrives from New York JFK. Delta Airlines flight 48, 16 years old. Hey there, Dream 350 of Dream 350, good morning. Peter van der Eyck, goedemorgen. Alles goed? Hey Wendy, goedemorgen, good morning, good to see you again. Alles lekker? So, as you guys can see, it is lovely weather over here. The sun is out. There are a few friendly clouds. The wind is said to be blowing with, what was it, 11 or 12 knots? It doesn't feel like that over here. I do get the impression that I have less wind over here than I did yesterday next to the Polderbaan. Although it was a few knots harder over there yesterday. So I am wearing a parka still. But I think I might transition to standing in my t-shirt later during the morning because it is really nice. So here's our next airplane. Hey Gijsbers, goedemorgen, good morning. Good to see you again. Stephen Morley, good morning. Hopefully you guys are having the same amount of sunshine in Ribble Valley as we do over here. And you're right, Christina, it does look, it not only looks like a beautiful day in Amsterdam, but it actually is. It is set to become a bit warmer today than it did yesterday. The highs are crouching, inching towards 20 degrees centigrade over the weekend, nationwide. So 70s Fahrenheit. But the nights are still chilly. No clouds, so all the warmth can radiate away overnight. Hey Elske, goedemorgen. Indeed, another sunny day. A great morning for doing a little bit of plane spotting. Next up is a Dreamliner from TUI. Flight 356, Boeing 7878 Dreamliner arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. And there she is. So this airplane departed from Curaçao 9 hours and 2 minutes ago according to Flight Radar. And the airplane itself is 8 years old and had its first flight in March 2015. Hey Chris Idema, goedemorgen. Barbs, good morning, good to see you again. Popping in and out. So, in terms of things up close, they still haven't cut the grass over here. It is still a bit overgrown along the water side, so it blocks the view somewhat. I haven't spotted any ducks, coots or grebes just yet, which is not to say that they've gone, but well, it's weekend, I think they might be sleeping in. Further out on this side of the canal also Not much going on just yet, but it is still early. Now 2 more planes are already arriving. Yeah, and the second one is just on the lower left side of the screen. The airplane in the foreground is EasyJet flight 22161, which is an Airbus A319 arriving from Manchester, where it left 15 minutes ago. The airplane is 16 years old. Now the wind, according to the latest meter, is blowing from 070, although variable in direction. But that means that on average it is 90%, 99%, I don't know exactly how much of a percentage, but the vast majority of the wind is coming head on first, so hardly any crosswind. So I'm not expecting any strange landings per se, although that doesn't mean they cannot occur, as we saw last week Sunday with the EasyJet touch and go around. Now, speaking of A320s from EasyJet, guess what our next airplane is? So this is EasyJet flight 23441 Airbus A320. It is arriving from Liverpool. Took the airplane 55 minutes to reach this point over here. This particular airplane is 13 years old, had its first flight in June 2009. So, next up will be another, what looks very much like a KLM, but isn't, SLM Airbus A332 arriving from Paramaribo. SLM flight 994, Airbus A332 arriving from Paramaribo in Suriname, where this airplane left 8 hours and 46 minutes ago. This particular airplane is 12 years old and had its first flight in September 2010. And looking like this, you would think, hey, that is KLM, and you would be right in thinking that. Lazy is what it is. It is laziness. Or a tight budget, or both. Hands are off the camera and off the tripod. Just look at how still it is hovering. Magnificent. Amazing, isn't it? Ciao Luca, good morning. Good to see you again, my friend. Now, let's quickly turn around the camera. We have heavies underway. We have a 7879 coming in from Air Europa, And after that we are seeing a 787-10 arriving from Delhi. And we can see the ladder in the background turning onto the glide slope over in the vicinity of New Vennep. In the foreground, Air Europa flight 1091 arriving from Madrid, Boeing 7879 Dreamliner. This Dreamliner, 4 years old, had its first flight in April 2019. Hey there Steve, 88, good morning. You're welcome, nice of you to join us once again. Hey there Peter K, good morning. Nice to see everybody tuning in again. Next up, KLM Dreamliner 787-10 arriving from Delhi, KLM flight 872. This airplane left from Delhi 8 hours and 35 minutes ago, and the airplane itself 3 years old, first flight December 2019. Hey there Mol, Spectrum Line 101. Tiriliri, good morning. Daniel, good morning. Your Average Gorillas Lover, good morning. And Arnoud, good morning. Goedemorgen allemaal. Nice to see so many people tune in already. Welcome to AMS Live, everybody. My name is Boy. It is a Saturday morning. Wind is blowing from the northeast and we are watching arrivals on the Kaagbaan, runway 06. Now, the next airplane is coming. It is flying towards the glide slope. It is an EasyJet A319 arriving from London Luton. Let's see if we can maybe pick it up in the distance. Think we have it just in the center, just above the leaves, where the camera has its focus on. Hey there, JBell 8888. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Let me take one of the last sips of coffee that I was carrying with me. Hey there Rolf, good morning. Hey there Peppy Pittel, good morning. Guten Morgen. So for those of you tuning in just now, the wind is blowing from the northeast, 070 on average. This is what Amsterdam Schiphol looks like this morning. There's a little bit of wind, but it is mostly sunny. Here and there a few more friendly clouds. This is to the northeast approximately. The wind is also coming from this direction. Pilots landing on 06 face, mostly headwind. Over at the north side of the cargo platform we have a triple from Air China Cargo. And China Southern, by the looks of it, behind it. And again. And this is Emirates. Now, the south side of the cargo part of the platform is always a bit obscured by this mound of sand or asphalt, whatever it is. We've been speculating about that in the chat several times. Think the first tail on the right, far right, is Atlas Air 747. Looks like a tail of Turkish Cargo A330 behind it. And the one in the middle is a bit hard for me to discern on a small 3-inch camera screen. Now, our next airplane in the meantime has gotten closer. Now so close that I can point the camera towards it a bit better. So let's do that then. And Peter asks what time I woke up, that I was already out streaming right now. I set my alarm at 7 AM this morning, which is what I often do. This is EasyJet A319 arriving from London Luton. Hey Marissa, goedemorgen, good morning. Good to see you again. And Stefan Roysenseen, if I pronounced that surname a bit correctly, says hi from a cold Cape Town in South Africa. Yeah, it is getting wintry over there, isn't it? Always something you need to take into consideration. Which hemisphere are we talking about? South Africa. Winter is coming. Bit like like Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. Alrighty then. Hey there, Sumo Burger. Good morning. Didn't see you there. Good morning. Nice of you to join us as well. Ah, and Logan Gaming is also in South Africa. Nice. So next up is an Embraer 190 KLM arriving from Hamburg. KLM flight 1778. Short flight. This airplane left 44 minutes ago from Hamburg and it is 9 years old. Had its first flight in December 2013. Hey there, good morning, Doris Player. Well, the Atlas Air 747 is only visible, only the tail is visible. It's the rightmost of the three. The rest of the airplane is hidden by, yeah, sand, asphalt, whatever it is. Hey Harry, goedemorgen. Checking in from the other side of the airport. Hey there Evan, good morning. Top of the morning to you too, my friend. How's life over there in Santa Monica, my friend? Ah, Peter K's alarm clock also rang at 7. That makes 2 of us. So another Dreamliner from TUI is inbound. Can I make it out on camera yet? Let's see, where is it? Ooh, just barely visible with the bare eyes, but there we go. It is another flight inbound from the Caribbean. This one is coming from Bonaire, flight 379, Boeing 7878. And this airplane left from Bonaire 8 hours and 56 minutes ago, almost 9 hours of travel time. The airplane is 8 years old, had its first flight in January 2015. Hey Arnoud, goedemorgen. I am thinking about streaming until 12:30 or so, depending on the flow of traffic. I don't think I'm going to stick around for the A380, which is expected to land after 1 p.m. I want to wrap it up between 12 and 12:30 p.m. Now, I'm not going to turn away the camera just yet, but on the right I see a grebe swimming towards me. Now it's entering the part of the water where you cannot see it because the grass in the foreground is blocking the view. So maybe after this Dreamliner has landed, it swam past that part and has become visible again. So Evan, you happened to see that I was live? Did you have notifications enabled? Because the other day I was hearing, I think Rick amongst others was mentioning that they didn't get notified by YouTube when I was live, which might also in part explain why over the last couple of weeks I noticed that my number of views per stream has gone down quite significantly. If people are not getting notified by YouTube when I'm live, then that can help explain why people haven't been watching as often as they have been so far before. Interesting. Well, in terms of the pushed back Atlas Air, let me show you what I can see. Not a whole lot. Okay, so not everybody. Okay, yeah, so not everybody apparently gets notified. Stupid YouTube. Next up is a Vueling little Airbus arriving from Bilbao. A320, 16 years old, first flight March 2007, arriving from Bilbao. Alrighty then, Aphrodite, if you're still around, enjoy the weekend and all the things you will be doing at that wedding. Hope you enjoy. See you again, hopefully soon. So the Queen of Atlas, the Atlas Queen, is on the move. Now behind me are A319s and A320neos arriving. So I think that this Queen will have to wait with crossing the runway. Maybe after this one has passed, probably not. So I'm thinking there are now 2 more airplanes that are on the glide slope 406. The Queen will have to wait with crossing the runway. So in the meantime, many people are getting notifications, but not everybody apparently. Hey Eddie, goedemorgen. Well, the Queen will have to wait before being allowed to cross the runway. SAS A320neo from Oslo underway first. Okay, it is inching closer to the runway. Looks like it is going to cross the runway before the E2 195. Hey there Mats, hey there Nelson, good morning to you both. Hope everybody is doing well. Good to see you all again. So the Atlas just in time to cross over. Hey there Dave A010. And thank you for your kind words, P. Willen. I am doing well. It is getting a bit warm actually over here. But then again, I am standing with my winter coat on still. Mornings can be quite chilly. But as you guys did already see, it is Beautiful weather over here. The sun is out, shining unimpededly. Now let me guys show you the grebe I was referring to earlier. It was swimming towards me first, now it is going away again. Apparently it has lost interest already. Hey there Miguel, good morning. Nice to see you again. ¿Cómo estás? Next up, KLM flight 1224. It is a Boeing 737-800 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle, where it departed from 41 minutes ago. The airplane, 16 years old, had its first flight in February 2007. Hey there Sanket, good morning to you, welcome to AMS Live. Unidentified swimming object. Well, I don't think that identifying this grebe was very difficult, although indeed, as Kuni was saying, still no babies on her back. Hey, look who is parading nicely in view. Come on, focus. No, let me see if I can. Yeah, it has to be still. Ah yeah, there we go. I was just about to say, I can press on my screen for subjects on camera to focus on it. But that can only do so much when there is a lot of grass in the foreground. Ah, Gulfstream underway. Argus Aviation Malta. Arriving from Farnborough, but it looks like it's following the glide slope for 36 right. So next up is Corendon Airlines, flight 618. It is a Boeing 737-800 from Palma de Mallorca. It left 2 hours and a minute ago from over there. This airplane is already a bit older, 23 years old, had its first flight in December 1999. Another millennial. Hey Jacob, checking in from Sydney. Good evening to you, mate. Lovely to see that some Aussies are also finding the stream. Good evening. I think it is evening still, Marissa. Very gentle touchdown there. Well, there are a couple of heavies arriving at the moment. The first one will be a Turkish A330 arriving from Istanbul. The second one will be a 777-200 arriving from Calgary. Right, Turkish in the foreground, and do we have the triple somewhere in the background? Oh yeah, just right of one of the leaves. One of the top leaves. Just barely visible. Contrary to the A330. And thank you so much, Evan, for your super sticker. Beaming face with smiling eyes. Well, I'm certainly beaming by the look of this A330. Arriving all the way from Istanbul. This is the infamous flight 1951. And it is arriving from Istanbul, where it departed 2 hours and 57 minutes ago. The airplane is 12 years old, had its first flight in November 2010. Now, as an inhabitant of the village of Lisse, where the famous Keukenhof is also at, I can always appreciate having a tulip on the outside of airplane liveries. And Michael, the flight is infamous because it was once flight 1951 that crashed just before the Polderbaan on its arrival. That was a Turkish flight 1951 that crashed several hundred meters before the runway threshold as it was landing on the Polderbaan. I think in 2014 or so? Other people will probably know more for sure. I think it was, or maybe it was even longer back. No, it must have been after 2003. Yeah, it stalled. They pulled back the throttle too early or something. So this is KLM flight 678, arriving from Calgary. I think it was the only other major airplane crash that we had in the Netherlands since the Belmer disaster. Obviously other accidents have happened with private jets and people, airplanes that bring parachutists up, or sailplanes. Not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago I think even, one crashed, killing a lady pilot who was very experienced. But in terms of commercial aviation, I think the Turkish airplane crash was the only biggest one we've had since the Belmer incident in the 90s, was it still? Yeah, I think it was the 90s. Well, I'm very bad with exact years. Nelson asks, is it true that the Netherlands wants to restrict intercontinental flights? I have no idea, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were planning on doing that. The Netherlands is not the most aviation friendly country, in my opinion. What I do know is that they have the desire to restrict private aviation from Schiphol. And I think a lot of the things that they want will have to be organized in EU form. It cannot be done nationally. Just because of the waterbed effect. Restrict here and people will head to Belgium and Germany more. But that's a very interesting question, Nelson. If anybody knows more, do let us know. I did take notice, Jean-Yves. Thanks for the warning. Hey Sven, good morning from Germany. Good morning to you too, Sven. How's the weather over there in your part of Germany? What part of Germany are you looking from at the moment? The north, the south? Hey there, temp account, good morning. Hey Martin, goedemorgen. Hopefully not on the shuffle today. Trust you have a day off and also a long weekend. So another Corendon 737. Hey Ronald, goedemorgen, good morning. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And Jacob says, hello sir, I'm enjoying the stream from Norwich, enjoying my long weekend with some AMS spotting. Well, thank you so much, Jacob, for choosing AMS Live in a world where you have so many live streams to choose from these days. Ooh. Looky here. That must be the Dash 8 from the Coast Guard. Going for a patrol after it departed from the Oostbaan. Caught it just in time to follow it a bit up close. Off to the coast it is, and it looks like it is flying to the southwest, so in the direction of Leiden. Hey, talking about stuff we don't get to see all day, every day. Need to turn around the camera like so. Gulfstream, I think, or no, GLEX, arriving from Olbia. VistaJet Malta. Bombardier Global 6000, 12 years old. Now, we will be able to follow this airplane until shortly before it touches down on the Oostbaan. In the meantime, it is almost wind still over here. You can hear the birds chirping, always lovely. Confirmation of the time of year. As Luca would say, la primavera. Well, that's the most we can see of that jet, unfortunately. Another jet is coming. Oh damn, Michael is getting CRJ withdrawal. We better make sure that some CRJs are coming this way, and quick. British Airways A319 inbound from London Heathrow. Fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Merry effing Poppins, London. I really need to rewatch Snatch again. Turkish, London, but where's Bullet Tooth Tony? Anyway, coming up, Air Canada flight 808 777 arriving from Toronto. This airplane left Toronto 6 hours and 43 minutes ago. It is a Boeing 777-300 ER. She's 15 years old, had its first flight in April 2008. Air Canada flight 808 arriving from Toronto. Now you might see some mosquitoes flying in the foreground. Unfortunately, they are back. Now I have agreed with them that they leave me alone. And so far they are keeping themselves to the agreement, but you would see them fly through the image now and then. So, thank you so much, Arnoud, for your super sticker smiling face with sunglasses. I will have to look at home to see the picture itself. Unfortunately, the app or the program I'm using only shows the description, so that is sometimes a bit vague. So, thank you, Will, for your kind words. Who is tuning in from Chicago, Illinois, where it is still in the middle of the night. 6 or 7 hours time difference. That's the middle time zone, isn't it? So that would be 7 hours of time difference. 3 a.m. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, there you go. Right, so, oh, damn it. Now, where did it go? Oh, annoying. NetJets CL60. arriving from Stockholm. Bombardier Challenger 650. Brand new. Had its first flight last December. Now you guys can probably also hear some fireworks being set off. The bird controllers are also added. And good morning to Gurkem and good morning to Oksana. Hope you both are doing well. All other viewers who have meanwhile joined us, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. I'm standing here next to the runway called Kaagbaan, runway 06, which is currently in use for arrivals. Wind is blowing from the northeast, 070 degrees, so the pilots landing on the runway we are standing next to are faced with mostly headwind. It is sunny. It is set to get warmer, more towards 20 degrees centigrade as today's high. So that is approximately 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I should update the meter. The meter in the ticker is from the just before going live around 9 AM local time, so an hour old. Back then it was 11 degrees Celsius or approximately 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Always have to do a little bit of math in my head to convert it. Hey there Ozzy, good morning. And good morning Ryan, who is checking in from Minneapolis. Good morning to you. Tomo 100, good morning. Hope everybody is doing well. Over here, as you guys can see, the sun is out. It is mostly blue skies. There are a few friendly clouds. No precipitation in the forecasts for the upcoming week, insofar as they are reliable so far ahead, looking out so far ahead. Now, I think we have also spotted the first coot of the day. Now, it's always a question of can I find it once again and show you. I think it is a bit difficult. It's like working with a telescope. You see, there you go. And the baby kootling. Not sure if it's the proper word for it, but analogous to duckling, I am calling this a kootling, whether you agree or not. Now it is a bit like working with a telescope. You know where the camera is pointing in a general direction, but it is sometimes hard to see where exactly you are looking at, particularly when all the grass looks alike. This is a bit easier to discern. It is Emirates Sky Cargo arriving from Aguadilla. This is a 777 freighter, 9 years old, first flight September 2013, and this airplane is now underway for 8 hours and 3 minutes. Emirates Sky Cargo arriving from Aguadilla. Now there's a good chance that this airplane, after it has landed, will make a left-hand turn and will come back to us and to the north side of the cargo platform. So the left-hand side if we are turning the camera back to the runway in a moment. They are good growlers, aren't they? The freighters and the 300s. They make a sound, a growling sound that you typically don't hear on the 200s. Really trademark sound that I don't recognize from other airplane types. Now, is it going to make a left-hand turn? Or is it going to the right? Hey Karel, goedemorgen. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Hope you are doing well too. It is beautiful weather over here. Now it looks like the Emirates is going to the left, which means it will be taxiing back towards us and is going to park on one of the parking stands on this side of the platform over here probably. For those of you unfamiliar with the layout of Schiphol, the runway that this airplane just landed on is runway 0624, today in use as runway 06. The cargo airplanes, the logistics companies of Schiphol are located around this runway on both sides. So on one hand you have cargo airplanes and also stacks and stacks of cargo, as you guys can see. And on the other side of the platform, more airplanes and logistics companies. But this side is obscured from over here by this heap of sand or asphalt or whatever it is. Meanwhile, Croatia Air arriving from Zagreb A319. And you can see that the triple is coming back, so let's see where it's going to park. If it is going to park somewhere on this side or more to the back. Now, we're expecting an A319 from EasyJet in a few moments, but not before we are celebrating Andy Taylor's 1 month membership of AMS Live. Thank you so much for your support, Andy, and thank you for your kind words. Our next airplane, A319, EasyJet, arriving from Birmingham. So, Michael, if you're looking on flight radar, there is a Lufthansa CRJ inbound flying in the vicinity of Alphen aan de Rijn. Looks like it is going to be number 3 or number 4. So we are going to fix that fix of yours. But not before we'll see a Dreamliner from KLM. It is KLM flight 741, it is a 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena. It left Cartagena 9 hours and almost 20 minutes ago, and the airplane is 7 years old. It had its first flight in October 2015. Hey, goedemorgen Frank. Hoe is het in Limburg? Good morning Jana Lee. Nice to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Hope you have as much sunshine over there where you are at as we do over here. It is lovely weather. The next airplane will be Tarom. Airbus A318 arriving from Bucharest, the daily flight, the smallest of the A320 family, the A318. The Airbus is 16 years old already and had its first flight in November 2006. The flight from Bucharest now taking 2.5 hours. Ooh, what a nice floaty landing. You can definitely tell the weather is calm. Now if you're new to the channel but you're liking what you're seeing so far, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. It allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live you receive a heads up. And if you have the time for it and are feeling like it, can join us for more live streaming action over here at Schiphol. It also helps me to reach more people like you and me who are into live stream aviation content such as this. The more the merrier. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Feel free to ask questions or interact with the folks in the chat. People are friendly over here. If you have questions, ask them. If you just want to say hi, please do so. Let us know you're also watching. Lufthansa CRJ 900 arriving from Munich. A bird controller in the foreground. Hey André, goedemorgen. Dit is Kaagbaan. In the field of grass on the southwest side. The south side of the runway. There's a road, there's a corner in the road, and there's a field of grass leading to this location from that corner. Time for another EasyJet. And thank you, Baran, for your kind words. Welcome to AMS Live. Nice of you to join us. I'm happy to hear that you're happy with the great angle. Hey, guten Morgen, Joseph. Checking in from Abu Dhabi. Are you there for business or pleasure, or do you live there? Awesome. Hey Richard, goedemorgen. Question. We are flying back with Corendon, but... Kenmerk VSI. VSI. I have no idea. Corendon is CND. I think it might be... Could it be that they are also renting airplanes and that it is the abbreviation of a leasing or rental company? Calling it home since 2004, Joseph says. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is a banana arriving from London Heathrow. Goedemorgen, Aeolus Capital, good morning. Aeolus Capital, it sounds like a hedge fund. Or at least it would be a good name for a hedge fund. Bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Airbus A300 just landed, arriving from London Heathrow, 29 years old. First flight was in February 1994. Ah, SCI Sky Vision. Ooh, banana on broad. Nice. Love it. Well, alrighty then, let's go back, because we have a heavy that is getting close, 777 time, and after that another triple. That 300 sound. So this triple arriving from Johannesburg. Now if you guys are saying, hey, I like the sound of that, don't go anywhere. Because another 777 arriving from South Africa is behind it. This is KLM flight 598. Another 777-300ER, this one 8 years old, arriving from Johannesburg, so Cape Town, the other one was from Johannesburg, so 2 airplanes arriving from South Africa, back to back. Alrighty, wow, you guys like back-to-back heavies? We have one little interruption, A320neo, but then it is back to the 777-300ERs again, with one arriving from New York, JFK. Coming from New York. Now, with a small intermezzo, an interlude if you will, EasyJet A320neo, this one arriving from Jersey. Brand new airplane, had its first flight October last year. And is an hour and 7 minutes on the way from Jersey. That I did not expect. Intuitively it feels that Jersey is much closer by, but apparently it is still an hour-long flight. Over an hour. Nice gentle touchdown. Hey there, Stephen Wilson, good morning. Thank you so much for your kind words, my friend. I'm glad that you are enjoying. What's the weather like over there in Scotland at the moment? Are you guys having sun as well, or is it more, shall we say, Scottish weather? Cloudy, rainy, colder. Now, here is the third almost consecutive 777-300ER from KLM. We had two arriving from South Africa. This one is coming from New York. JFK has been on the way for 6.5 hours now. This airplane, 7 years old, first flight May 2016. Nicely touched down there. Next up is going to be an A321neo from Air Transat. That is transatlantic, arriving from Toronto. I'm really curious how the seating is on board of that A321. Imagine this airplane is now underway for 7 hours and 8 minutes. Imagine, and Dutchies will know, if you have to sit in those tight Transavia configuration seats for 7 hours, you would be dead on arrival. Hey Tim, goedemorgen, good morning. This time tomorrow we'll be on the way to Amsterdam. Awesome. And J20 Menku says A321 Air Transat, that's a new one. They have been flying now, or at least I've seen them now for a couple of weeks. They apparently operate a daily flight from Toronto to Amsterdam on the A321neo. 7 hours and 10 minutes of flight already. I should hope that they have adjusted seating that isn't in line with what is standard short haul single aisle European style cramped seating. Now I think the Emirates Sky Cargo triple that we saw earlier has been assigned this parking place right in the very foreground. I think that the pilots have gotten off board, but other than that they haven't started with unloading or loading the airplane yet. The airplane's behind it. Some are open, others not. Could enable digital zoom for the occasion and do a little bit of spying. Wind is calm, that is the upside. So the only major source of interference is the heat waves. Looks like they are closing up the airplane. As an Embraer 190 arrives on the scene. On the other side it is still quiet. So KLM and Turkish. Now where did the DHL go? Is that behind it? Let's see, am I missing it? Where did the banana go? It's not here. Probably, it is probably hiding behind the Turkish and the KLM then. What is that? Huh, what is it? Alright, KLM 737-800 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle. Now it is time to start turning around the camera and focus in on the incoming traffic, because we are expecting another Dreamliner from KLM arriving from Las Vegas. It is heavies time once again. Behind this Dreamliner is a Delta Airlines A330, so it is two heavies back to back. First, this 787 Dreamliner 7879 arriving from Las Vegas. It is underway now for 9 hours and 15 minutes. The airplane itself 7 years old, first flight March 2016. It is KLM flight 636 arriving from Las Vegas or Las Vegas. Hey there, Yorkshire, good morning. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you again. Alrighty, well, it seems that 36 right is not open yet. Everything is still coming to 06. I was expecting 36 right to also open relatively soon, but maybe they have forgotten about it. Hey there, Nika, hello, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. So this is a Delta Airlines A330-300. She's arriving from Minneapolis, where this airplane... No, it doesn't say the time it took to get here. What I can say is that this airplane is 20 years old and had its first flight in January 2003. Oh, look at that. Ever so gentle. They really are good at landing buttery smooth, aren't they? Yeah, absolutely right there, Evan. 100 underlined twice. Thank you so much, my friend. And indeed, as Gurkum already said, butter machine approaching. That is an apt nickname for these A330s. They are butter machines. Now, let us have a look at what is next. Looks like first we will see a Boeing 737-700, the smallest of the 737 family. Arriving from Geneva, KLM flight 1926. It is underway now for an hour and 5 minutes. The airplane is 14 years old, had its first flight in October 2008. 737-700, just look at the length of the fuselage and also compare how big its tail is in comparison. It really stands out. Arriving from Geneva. Crazy, huh? I think the tail is the same size for all 737s. It's just that with the fuselage length of the 700 being so short, it makes the tail stand out as disproportionately big. And Damon says, good morning from Wales. I say good morning to you too, Damon. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you are enjoying the stream. And thank you so much, Barbs, for your super chat. Came for the Waterbirds, got amazing planes, superb. Well, the Waterbirds are far and few at the moment. I'm looking around to see if there are any. I do see some rippling, so there has to be. I think it is the coot with the baby cootling. But you can only infer that there are animals in the water because of ripples. Oh wait, I think they might... Where are they? You can see the rippling. There they are. Well, hard to get them in focus. They really need to cut the grass over here. Focus on birds that are a bit more easy to spot from over here. So this was an Embraer 190 arriving from Prague. Next up, a private business jet from NetJets, arriving from Dublin, an Embraer Phenom 300. They are very sleek. You can definitely tell also by the looks of the Embraer 175, 190, the E2 195, that Embraer is also making business jets. The Phenom 300, a very beautiful one. She's incoming from Dublin. This airplane, where it departed an hour and 13 minutes ago. This airplane is still very new. Had its first flight in April last year. So not this year, but 2022. Making it just over a year old. Oh, I thought this was your airplane, Yorkshire. Thought you lent it out to NetJets. One of your fleets. Wonderful. So after this very small airplane, it is time for relatively bigger airplanes, although in the field of commercial aviation still considered small jets. Starting off with a Boeing 737-800 from KLM, arriving from London Heathrow, and after that an Embraer 190 that is coming in from London City. So this is KLM flight 1002, an 800. Ah. It is time for an Embraer 190. Arriving from London City, KLM flight 984. The airplane 14 years old. How long will it take my camera to get focus on it on its own? Okay, Owen says that 36 right has also opened for arrivals. Now, if 36 right will take care of all the Embraers and leave all the heavies for 06, I'm a happy camper. It is very likely that I will not be able to get it like that. Hey! Mama Duck and the ducklings have awoken. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. If this is the same nest that had 11 at some point, then a lot of them unfortunately have not made it. A lot of attrition. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Airways. Particularly its reflection in the sunlight. Beautiful. Right, time for another big bird. It is a Dreamliner from United, flight 968. It is flight 968, Boeing 7879 Dreamliner arriving from San Francisco, where this airplane departed 9.5 hours ago from. The airplane is relatively new, 7 years old. First flight was in February 2016. And thank you, Jens K, for your remark, liking that I always also take a look on the living birds. Well, by now you guys should probably know that there are only canals surrounding Schiphol Airport, no fences, just water and water birds. So I have a reasonably good camera that I can also use to do some wildlife footage with. So if there is something interesting to see, I will definitely show you guys. Hey there, M. Montavon. Good morning. So next up, a Transavia 737-800 arriving from Nice. Nice. It is airborne now for 1 hour and 36 minutes. This airplane is 13 years old, had its first flight in April 2010. Transavia flight 5582, and behind it will be another NetJets business jet. Another bizzjet. Oh, 18 right is for arrivals. Okay, Polderbaan. Interesting. In that case, I misread. I thought they were opening 36 right, so the Aalsmeerbaan. Next up will be a NetJets Bombardier Challenger 350 arriving from Ibiza. So is that Martin Garrix or something returning. Probably a Dutch DJ returning from having done a gig on the party island. So Bombardier Challenger 350, it is 7 years old, had its first flight in January 2016 and arriving from Ibiza. Accidentally missed the zoom rocker there. Yeah, or Chesto, indeed. Alrighty then. Now, another banana. Arriving from Madrid. Second banana of the day. Starting to get hungry. A300 DHL. Arriving from Madrid, where this airplane left 2 hours 3 minutes ago. Airbus A300 freighter. She is 23 years old. Had its first flight in November 1999. Banana. Well, looks like there's a lot of traffic underway to the Polderbound for arrivals. Looking at what is going there, it's all narrow bodies coming from the east. Interesting. So I'm thinking that air traffic arriving from the west will be coming to the Kaagbaan then. So we might still see the A350 from Delta after all. We did have 3 A350s in yesterday's stream. It was quite amazing. 0 Queens but 3 A350s. I believe there's also a Finnair A350 underway today in that special livery with balls or circles on the hind side of the fuselage. And By Helsinki says, hey from Paris, salut, welcome to the stream. By Helsinki in Paris. Nice of you to join us here this morning. Now the triple from Emirates Sky Cargo that was parked over here, the furthest removed, looks like it is going to depart. Has been pushed back. The one we saw land earlier, parked over here, well, apparently they decided they would go for coffee first and then think about maybe unloading the airplane or loading it. Photo bombed in the shot just now by K3. The bird controller. Hey Gabriella, goedemorgen, good morning. Nice of you to join us again. Hope you're doing well. So if you just tuned in, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the runway called Kaagbaan. Runway 0624, at the moment in use as runway 06. The wind, what wind there is blowing from 070 degrees. As you guys can see, the sun is out. Temperatures are rising. Around 9 a.m. it was about 11 degrees Celsius or 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Things are warming up gently. Now, at the moment, Kaagbaan is no longer the only runway in use for arrivals. They also started using the Polderbaan, runway 18 right. It is indicative that there is little wind because they are more or less opposing directions. This is traffic landing to the northeast, and on runway 18 right they are landing to the south. Departures take place from 09. So that is to the east. It is a runway configuration you typically see either when it is storming or when there isn't a lot of wind. So yeah, I started out with my parka on and now I have the jacket still on, but it is getting warmer. The wind is lovely. The sun is out. What more can you want? It is beautiful weather. Hey Remco, goedemorgen. As we are waiting for the next traffic to arrive, let me also take a sip of water. Make sure that I stay hydrated properly. Three airplanes are getting closer. The first one is an A320 from Iberia Express. Arriving from Madrid. Iberia Express flight 3722. Now this airplane is arriving from Madrid where it left 2 hours and a minute ago. This A320-200 is 22 years old and had its first flight in February 2001. Hey there Papa Kilo, good morning. Nice of you to join us again. Hey Jorn, goedemorgen. Lekker wakker worden hè? Nice waking up like this. Absolutely my friend. Nice of everybody to join us again on this beautiful Saturday morning. Two airplanes visible, one in the foreground, one in the background. The one in the background is arriving from Southampton, the one in the foreground is arriving from Billund. Both are Embraer 175s from KLM. First one arriving from Billund is 6 years old, and the second one arriving from Southampton is 7 years old. Hey Richard, good morning. Thank you, my friend. You have a great day as well. We're starting off good, at least. The beginning. Not too bad. Now I'm happy to say that the Delta Airlines A350 is coming this way. It seems that the Polderbaan is now facilitating inbound traffic arriving from the east predominantly. So hopefully that will stay this way, so all the heavies arriving from the United States and Canada, insofar as they are still inbound and haven't landed already, will hopefully come to runway 06. And all the narrow bodies from mainland Europe hopefully will go to the Polderbaan. Now, if I look over here in the water, it seems that the water birds have gone again. They are very proficient in hiding, and the length of the grass over here doesn't help me. It helps them, but not me. And Jens is wondering if the 777 from Vancouver is going to land on Kaag or Polderbaan. Well, judging on the current pattern of the A350 arriving from Atlanta, I would be inclined to say that the triple will be coming to the Kaagbaan, but you never know, it might well go to Polderbaan as well. I think we will only know a few minutes before it actually starts to land. Right, next up is a 737-800 arriving from Birmingham. KLM flight 1422. The airplane underway for 42 minutes now. And it is 22 years old. First flight was in July 2000. Yeah, if you look at the flights now going to Polderbaan, they are all arriving from the north or from the east. So I think everything from the east will be going to Polderbaan, everything arriving from the west will be going to Kaagbaan. And no, Richard, I forgot to bring some bread for the ducks. I keep forgetting that. Although I'm not sure if bread is actually good for ducks. I think it might be a myth that you should feed ducks bread. Now, I am guilty of having done that in the past. I actually don't know if it is good for them. you can hear them. I think it is Momma Coot and her cootling that we are hearing. Yeah, that is Momma Coot and her fluffy cootling. Now I'm not going to stick with them for too long because there is a Delta A350 underway that a lot of you are dying to see. Well, anxious to see. No need to die for this. But you guys know what I'm saying. Yeah, Ian, you're making a good point. I was already asking about that earlier this morning. Not everybody who has turned notifications on was getting notifications. And it seems to be affecting not everybody. I was already noticing that over the last couple of weeks my viewing numbers had gone down, and I was wondering why that was. I think that maybe this has in part to do with it. I don't know why this happens. Maybe if you apply the old IT solution of switching notifications off and then turning them on again, maybe that will help, but that is beyond me. So Delta Airlines A350 flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. So listen to the thrust being reverse thrust being applied. This airplane, 6 years old, first flight was in October 2016. Okay, so has anybody found a solution for this issue then, Gabriella? Yeah, and it is something that others should copy, isn't it, Michael? The curved winglets, it provides such more elegance to the whole silhouette. Now it also helps that the underside is more curved compared to the A330, for instance. Ooh, there are 5 ducklings. So I count one more. Where can I show them all in one shot? There was a 5th one just now. Oh yeah, no, that's Momma. Oh yeah, over to the left, there's the number 5. So there are at least 5. So the nest has grown with 25%, that's good news. Embraer arriving from Göteborg. Now it is time for Embraer 190s, so if you like Embraer 190s, don't go anywhere. We have 2 back-to-back at least. First one arriving from Manchester. The second one arriving from Norwich. And a third Embraer 175 arriving from Luxembourg. Well, interestingly enough, the Embraer 190 arriving from Aberdeen seems to be going to the Polderbaan. Alrighty then. So, Embraer 190 arriving from Manchester. Where it departed 52 minutes ago. This airplane 11 years old. Oh yeah, thought I heard something in to the left of me. It's the rightmost of the two that is making sounds. Hopefully the microphone will pick it up, but I think it will. And yes, Tomo, Norwich is indeed with its silent W. Little wheelie, nicely done. Was it not a leaf, Steven? Was it a kill? The left one did seem to be eating something. Now this is the most I can zoom in optically. Let's re-enable digital zoom and take a bit of a closer peek. Does seem to be eating from something. Are they predator birds? They aren't, are they? Okay, a mouse. Well, bye bye Mickey. So I guess that is why the other bird is making noise. The right bird also wants a bite of Mickey. Ah, just missed it. It was carrying what seemed to be an animal corpse. Oh yeah. Was that a mouse? It was hard for me to see over here. Sharing is caring, buddy. If you cannot share, you cannot multiply. If you cannot divide, you cannot multiply. Meanwhile, these stupid metal birds keep interfering with the documentary I'm trying to make over here. National Geographic Schiphol edition. Rabbit ears, rabbit head, looked like another bird. Okay, well, place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. What can it be? Or a rat, maybe? Huh. Meanwhile, Mama Duck comes over to say hi. Damn it. You should be able to press, yeah, on the subject, and then the camera should focus on it. Looks like a bachelorette. Don't see any kids in her vicinity. Anyway, another Embraer 190 arriving from Brussels. You would think so, Luca. You would think so. I think that if the bird controllers see them over here, they are going to chase them away. I was along the Polderbaan on Thursday, and I actually saw a goose with its long neck flying in the vicinity of the runway. Now the scarecrow saw the goose as well, because the airplane taking off or lined up at the threshold had to wait, and the bird controller was making sure that the goose wouldn't be flying towards the runway area. So it drove onto the runway and set off the loud explosive bangs to chase it away more to the side of the wheat field, where the other day the tractors were also driving in. But it was the first time I saw a goose with its long neck so close by. Now, obviously that is something you wouldn't want in your airplane engine, but those ravens are also big enough to cause some hiccups in the engine, I'd imagine. Frank says Steve Irwin is looking down from heaven and agrees on the documentary. Wouldn't it be nice to have his blessing? Man, that's ages ago since he passed away. When was that? It wasn't this millennium already, wasn't it? But feels like it's more than 10 years ago already. Now there is another bizjet flying in for 1H right, which will probably make a right hand turn to the Oostbaan last minute for an arrival closer to the general aviation platform. You should be able to see it turn, and then it vanishes permanently. André, dankjewel voor je aardige woorden. Thank you so much. Yeah, well, I am somewhat of a duck whisperer. It has been said before. If I see them, I will point the camera towards them. Ducks are less shy in my opinion than grebes. The grebes always dive underwater once they see you point the camera to them. And no, Tristan. Hard to see anything from over here. So it is Embraer 190's time, once again. KLM flight 1050 arriving from Bristol, where it left 48 minutes ago. The airplane 13 years old, first flight January 2010. Oh yeah, I thought I saw a tanker truck, and it looks minute if you compare it to the rest of the things over there. Also those packages, those things they load and unload, they look maybe like small pallets, but they are really big compared to a person. Let me see if I can show you guys. As another Embraer 190 is arriving. Hey, good morning, Madeira Aviation Spotting. Right, so next up is going to be an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Lyon. I think it is the first E2 Embraer of the day. KLM flight 1414 arriving from Lyon, France, where it departed an hour and 8 minutes ago. This airplane is 2 years old, had its first flight in April 2021. You're absolutely right there, Steven. Perfect place. Although the flatness might make it a bit more windy than maybe would be the case if it was a bit more hilly. Not sure about that actually. Again, that typical E2 Embraer 195 whistle. Alright, so apparently some of the heavies are also landing on the polderbaan. In particular, I see that a 777 arriving from Vancouver just touched down. Now there is another 777 arriving from Canada, from Toronto. That makes me a bit hesitant to see where it's going to go to. Now there is also a 777 arriving from Curacao, still over the North Sea, so let's just see how that pans out. So there is just a little bit what you can see of departures of 09. But it isn't a lot from over here. Oof. Very gentle landing there. I think it's also a good moment to update the METAR and see what the current wind is doing. Now I will be curious to see how long polderbaan is going to be used for arrivals. The wind is blowing from the northeast, so basically there is tailwind for airplanes landing there. Now the wind is only 8 knots. Sure, there is an upper limit to how much tailwind they can fly safely in. So I have just updated the METAR in the ticker with the latest weather update. Although you would think that there is another one released 10 minutes ago, but this one is from half an hour ago. Wind is blowing 8 knots from 040 degrees, so from the northeast, varying between 360 and 070, so varying between north and east. Visibility good, few clouds, around 2000 feet, and the temperature is 14 degrees centigrade, so that is 28, and 30 is 58 degrees Fahrenheit approximately. Now the next airplane to come this way is still a bit out, but will be arriving in a few minutes. Let's continue looking at what is going on the cargo platform. I'm also hearing a bird making sound. Oh, that might be the cootling. Maybe it is looking for its mom. Okay, Rolf, thank you for joining us. Enjoy your lunch. And enjoy the rest of the day and your weekend. We'll see each other again soon, undoubtedly. But for now, bye and thanks for joining. And Jorn is giving us good news. 777 coming to the Kaagbaan. Before we'll see the 777. First up, more narrow bodies. Hey Larry, good morning. Nice of you to join us again, Larry. Hope you're well. So here is our next airplane. It is Transavia. It is one of their many 737-800s arriving from Palma de Mallorca. Flight 5628. This airplane underway now for 2 hours and 2 minutes, and it is a 13-year-old airplane that had its first flight in May 2010. A very special cup of tea. I will have a look at it later then, Marissa. You are making me curious. The 777 now flying between Noordwijk and Leiden, so 10 minutes or so out. Before we'll see the triple, there are two planes preceding it. The first one of which is an Embraer 190, one of the many from KLM, flight 954, inbound from Newcastle. There we go. Is that the triple in the background? Or is that the... I think it might be the second Embraer. Or is it the triple already? Oh yeah, I think it might be. Yeah, it is the triple. It is the triple. Because on top of it, to the right, is the second Embraer, the Embraer 175. So it was indeed the 777 making its way to the glide slope. So that is in the vicinity of Leiden that we can see under clear weather conditions. Meanwhile, over here, I was trying to get the information, but I was zoomed out too much. And I accidentally clicked on the landing information of an Austrian Airlines Airbus that landed on Polderbaan in the retro livery. Well, pity that we've missed that one. I think we did see it once before, but I need to zoom in more so that I can press the proper labels. Alrighty. Well, you've definitely spiked my curiosity there, Marissa. After I'm done with the stream, I will have a look right away. Next up, Embraer 175, KLM flight 1060, arriving from Cardiff, where it departed 55 minutes ago. Oh. The airplane is 5 years old. First flight was in October 2017. Well, no time to waste. I've got to move with haste because there is a 777 arriving and we don't want to miss it. KLM flight 696. It is a Boeing 777-200 arriving from Toronto, Canada. Where is it left 6 hours 42 minutes ago? It is a 200 ER, 16 years old, and it had its first flight in April 2007. Hey there, Peter Muller, who is saying good morning. Good morning to you too, Peter. Peter. And you're welcome, Rhiannon, for bringing back beautiful memories of watching airplanes fly overhead. See, you don't hear that growl that you hear with the 300s and the freighters on the 200s. So I propose that the 200 gets banned immediately and replaced by either freighters or 300s, just to improve the auditory experience of our streams. Now there is another Embraer 190 coming up. But hey, look at that Momma grebe and a grebeling. Where is, yeah, that is a small, look at that, how cute. A two-headed monster. Let me quietly enable digital zoom again and see if we can, not too far. A little zebra grebeling, greblet. Alrighty, back to the steel and composite birds. And there is a little cootling over there that keeps making sound, but I think Momma is in the vicinity, so I keep hearing it making very sad sounds. I was thinking it was alone all the time, but I think Momma is just nearby constantly. Meanwhile, Momma grebe is still hiding here. Beautiful. Anyway, another quick Embraer 190 arriving from London City, and after that we will see a triple arriving from Curaçao. Let's not forget why we have come out here. Alrighty folks, it is time for another heavy. This one is one of those proper sounding ones. There we go. KLM Flight 736, it is a 777-300ER arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. It is in the Sky Team livery. The airplane is underway now for 8 hours and 54 minutes, and the airplane is 13 years old and had its first flight in August 2009. Ladies and gentlemen, 777-300 time. Listen closely how it growls as it passes us by. How can you not love this? Switch up update. Thank you Marissa and Yillard for letting us know. So 36 left and center now in use for departures, along with 06 for arrivals. So good news, all arriving airplanes are coming to this runway once again. Hey, is that Latam Cargo? On the move? It is. 767. Quickly crossing the runway. The grebe can swim for itself as well. Where was it? There it is. Like a little fighter jet that wants to land on the big airplane carrier. Right, another Embraer 175, I think it was arriving from Darlington. We have another big one. coming this way. Airbus A330-300 arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Delta Airlines Flight 136. This airplane underway 7 hours 24 minutes now. She's 17 years old and had its first flight in July 2005. And hey there, Walter! Greeting Amsterdam and all the nice people. And wishing us a happy Pentecost already. Thank you so much. I wish the same to you. And I'm happy that you're enjoying the stream so far. For those of you who are new to the channel and are liking what you're seeing, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Make sure you turn on notifications so that whenever I go live in the future you get a notification, hopefully, and can join us for more live action over here at Schiphol. With a little delay, still hearing the reverse thrusters. Ooh, looks like another mama duck with her ducklings. These are a bit older, hard to see between the grass. It was only a brief moment. I counted 4. The other mama duck and her ducklings further out. I keep pressing on mama duck, but yeah, I think now the camera focuses on the mama duck. Should be able to override the autofocus by pressing on the subject that you want to focus in on, but it doesn't always work or very quickly. So, several mama ducks and 2 nests of ducklings. We have a grebe and a grebling, a coot and a cootling. It is very much spring-like over here. Okay, next up, Embraer 175 and a Boeing 737. The Embraer 175 is arriving from Hanover. And if the question about the Delta was about the A330 that landed just now, indeed it was arriving from Detroit. Alright, another Transavia flight, Boeing 737-800. This one is arriving from Kefalonia. A journey that took this airplane 2 hours and 46 minutes so far. The airplane is 6 years old and had its first flight in March 2017. And after that, time for yet another triple. This one will be arriving from Panama City. But first, this little Transavia 737-800 arriving from Kefalonia. And indeed, Walter, big and small planes. A nice mix so far. Although we are still missing the 747. We did see the Atlas cross the runway. But that was for a departure and it was only a taxi. And nothing actually touching down here, unfortunately. Hey there, Victor, good morning. How is life over there in Germany? Frankfurt, right? If I recall correctly. Now, two heavies are underway. No time to linger. KLM flight 758 will be arriving first. And after that, a 787-10 Dreamliner. This is a 777-300ER, 15 years old, first flight March 2008, arriving from Panama City, where this airplane left 9 hours 41 minutes ago. It is KLM flight 758. And again, we're going to hear that beautiful growl. Now, too bad we are standing on this side because it looks like it is making a quite long wheelie. Now, not a lot of time to linger on this airplane. And Marinha Melo says bom dia from Brazil. I say bom dia to you too. Nice to see you again. Hope you're well. Still early over there in Brazil. 6 a.m? Or is it 5? I think it is a 6-hour time difference with Brazil and mainland Europe. Panama City, Florida. Well, I think this one was coming from a different Panama City, but you're absolutely living nearby Panama City, albeit in Florida then, Rhiannon. Here we have a Dreamliner Boeing 787-10 arriving from LAX. KLM flight 604. The Dreamliner is underway now for 9 hours and 38 minutes and this is a young one. She's 2 years old. First flight was in December 2020. Bloop. Spoilers up, wings down, gone is most of the flex. Hey there MJE van S. You're absolutely right, prachtig spottersweer weer. Although it is a bit more mosquito-y than the last time I was here, but there's also less wind than the last time I was here. I think it is correlated. You should be seeing them when I'm fully zoomed out right now. But we have a treaty. I leave them alone, they leave me alone. And so far they are upholding the arrangement, so... Hey there, Gregory! Good morning, or afternoon, depending on where you're looking from. I'm doing well, thank you so much for asking. Hope you're doing well as well. For those of you new to the channel, welcome to AMS Live. You're watching arrivals on the Kaagbaan runway 06. On a beautiful, sunny and slightly windy day. Not a lot of wind. Now over at the Polderbaan I can always show you guys a windsock or two and smoke from the chimneys in the port area of Amsterdam West. I know there should be windsocks over here as well. Not seeing any. If I do see one, I will show you the wind, strength and direction. Now over at the south part of the platform, the cargo platform, we have a little airplane. Not sure what it is. Okay. Interesting, Miguel. Interesting story. I haven't heard anything of it. If anybody knows more, do let us know. Now, this is a triple, obviously, but I think it is departing, or has it arrived just now? It's probably been pushed back. Hey Koenie, goed om je weer te zien. Good to see you again. Welcome back. Now, for those of you interested in the background, those high rises are the Zuidas, centered around Amsterdam WTC Station, Zuid Station, the business center of Amsterdam, or one of the business centers. It is actually the next stop if you go by train. One of the first stops, because the other one, depending on which way the train is going, but if you're moving to Amsterdam, if you're taking the west route to Central Station, Lelylaan or Sloterdijk will be the first stops. If you are going to the east, more in the direction of Arnhem or Utrecht, then South World Trade Center will be the first stop, which is where those high rises are. Now this is what you can see from over here, from departures from 36 Center. As soon as they appear, as they leave the ground, they appear between the building on the right and the advertisement on the left. Not a whole lot you can see. Now coming for 06, first up is an Embraer 190 arriving from Berlin. After that we are going to see a Delta Airlines A330 that is arriving from Minneapolis. And is this the Leysieffer Chocolaterie? I think it is. chocolate. Probably the rental. And that was Singapore Airlines A350 taking off that we saw just now. Now more is taking off from center. But no time to linger because the A330 is already really close by. So let's focus in on it. Delta Airlines Flight 164, Delta Airbus A330-300 arriving from Minneapolis. So, touching down on Amsterdam soil after 7 hours and 37 minutes of flight. The airplane we see touch down, 18 years old. You can hear the reversers being applied. And Turkish Cargo 777 is what we saw just now, and which is on the move, crossing the runway. Will it take off from center? If it will, we should be able to see it as soon as it leaves the ground. And thank you so much, Steven, for joining us. Thanks for your kind words. It's been a pleasure to have you on the stream. I'm looking forward to see you again sometime soon. And enjoy the rest of the day. Righty then. 737 once again coming this way. And while Turkish Cargo 777 taxiing further, and it seems that one of the cargo triples over here has been pushed back as well, clearing up nicely. H-Man asks for any go-arounds today. Well, we haven't seen them on this side of the airfield, at least for as long as I've been live now. Don't know what has been happening on the Polderbaan. They did land for part of the morning over there with tailwind, so I'm not sure if that has affected some of the landings. Now, more narrow bodies are coming this way, and Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds. So what I am doing is just focus in on over here, which is where traffic departing from 36 Center will become visible. Let's just see what will happen. Let me also enable both inbound and outbound on flight radar. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. All the heavies are taxiing to the Polderbaan by the looks of it. I was hoping that maybe the Neo, but no. Okay, well maybe the two triples then. did see something take off just before I was panning away. It was a very small airplane by the looks of it. Now there are 2 triples. Curious to see if maybe they will go to 36 center. Still a bit early to tell. I think the Turkish one to Istanbul will definitely go from center because it has to go to the east, so taking the easternmost of the 2 parallel departure runways seems logical. Yeah, and the triple to Canada is taxiing south, further south, to go around the runway threshold. Indeed, Marissa, the Turkish will be for 36 center. Now, on my left there is an EasyJet A320 arriving from Berlin. And there is something going around the runway threshold. That would be the 777-2 the 777-2 what is it, Vancouver? Toronto. Okay, and the triple from Turkish is on the move, should become visible in a moment. Turkish cargo 777 outbound to Istanbul. There you go. So this is what we can see from over here from departing traffic on 36 center. We are nicely aligned with the runway. Hey Sander, groetjes terug. Paintballing, eh? Hopefully it's not too painful. I've heard about people getting bruised by paintballing but being shot from up close. That those paint pellets or whatever you would call them can still have quite a significant impact on your body if fired from up close. So yeah, this is a bit of what you can see from over here from departing traffic. It's not a whole lot. And hello there, Ibeliski. Ibeliski. This is 06 Kaagbaan, the southern threshold where I'm standing at. Ah, okay. You work? Are you working at a paintball venue in Rensburg? Okay, good to know. So if I want to shoot at my friends, I know where I need to go to. Righty. The nightmare of aviation is coming, says Pavlos. Yeah, we are indeed expecting a Boeing 737-800 from Ryanair arriving from Malaga. Let's see how soft or not so soft it lands. Well, thanks for the update about paintball there, Sander. We'll keep it in mind. Thank you. Ryan Scare. I like the nicknames that you guys are making of all these airplane carriers. AVL Dog had Queasy Jet and Sleazy Jet the other day. Ryan Scare. Try and error. I love it, guys. Keep them coming. I'm always up for wordplay jokes. So yeah, 777 arriving from Guayaquil, still out over the North Sea. Couple of narrow bodies first. China Airlines cargo's 35 minutes out. I was planning on stopping the stream between 12 and 12:30. So next up will be Ryan Scare. Little bit of reverse thrust audible there. Well, this is something I didn't know yet, but I am also able to see airplanes take off from Polderbaan from over here. Now the camera has a bit of difficulty focusing on it. Let me press and see if that helps. No, it is too small. I think this is the best I can do. Yeah, so Polderbaan departures really far away, faint. However, I can see something from over here. Interesting, so this is where Polderbaan departures take place from, and 36 Center is over here in the middle. Good to know. Alrighty, next up, a Boeing 737 MAX 8. Hey, wait, this is something different. I was one too far ahead already. Lot Embraer 175 in the Star Alliance livery arriving from Warsaw. An Embraer 175 long range, actually 12 years old, first flight September 2010. Now we're going to see the TUI 737 MAX 8 arriving from Ibiza. So the plebs that couldn't afford to hop on with Chesto or Martin Garrix earlier on the NetJets private jet are following in this budget TUI fly. So this is flight 534 arriving from Ibiza. MAX 8, 1 year old, first flight December 2021. The airplane departed from Ibiza 2 hours and 8 minutes ago. Hey Amelie, good afternoon. Just in time for the last couple of airplanes. Next up is going to be an A320neo from Vueling arriving from Barcelona. I am going to stick around until the 777 from Guayaquil, and that is going to be the last airplane of the day for me. So this is Vueling flight 8309 Airbus A320neo arriving from Barcelona, where it left 1 hour and 51 minutes ago. The airplane is 4 years old, had its first flight in March 2019. Hey there Malcolm, good morning. Watching from the UK, arrived from New Zealand on Wednesday, how nice. Going from fall to spring, that's always a good change. Hopefully you're not jet lagged anymore if you arrived on Wednesday already. So next up is KLM flight 1620. It is a Boeing 737-800 arriving from Milan. The airplane is underway now for 1 hour and 16 minutes and it is 4 years old, had its first flight in April 2019. Okay, and Peter asks if the Delta Airbus from Seattle can be the last plane. Well, it seems to be following the airplane I had in mind to be the last airplane, the 777. So yeah, of course, we can stick around for that plane as well. But then that will definitely be the last plane for today, ladies and gentlemen. Still a bit jet lagged, but sleep is improving. How long are you staying for in the UK, Malcolm? Hopefully long enough to get rid of the jet lag before having to go back and incur another jet lag. Okay, 2 more planes for this stream, ladies and gentlemen. The first airplane is coming close and is visible in the distance. If you can see through the mosquitoes that have formed a little cloud in front of me. But honestly, they are keeping away from me, so I've been standing here without getting bitten, and all the time the same over here. Hey, you're welcome, Peter. Hey there, Joseki, good afternoon. So this is the penultimate airplane of the day, KLM flight 755, Boeing 777-200. She's arriving from Guayaquil, is underway for 11 hours and 5 minutes. It is a 200 ER, so we're probably not going to hear that nice growl. The airplane is 19 years old and had its first flight in November 2003. Okay, total trip of 7 weeks. Well, hopping over from the UK to the Netherlands will not give you that big of a jet lag, so once you've recovered from moving from New Zealand to the UK, you're probably sorted. Nice! also a nice long stay. So a week in the UK, and then will you be spending the rest of the 7 weeks in the Netherlands, or will you also be traveling through mainland Europe, for instance? Yeah, Frank, you caught me. Did not shower this morning. That is why I'm constantly I'm very attractive for mosquitoes, apparently. That must be it. Right, folks, last plane of the day. Let me turn around the camera so you guys can see. Oh. Someone needed some attention and is immediately showing its ass to us. Little coot. Walking over the water. You heard it, you just saw the last bit of it. Alrighty, here she is. It is the last plane of today's stream. Delta Airlines Flight 144, Airbus A330-300 arriving from Seattle. The airplane is underway now for 8 hours and 49 minutes. And she is 16 years old. Had its first flight in November 2006. Now let me go ahead and say thank you to everyone who has joined us today for yet another wonderful live stream over here. I had a blast and I hope you guys did too. If you guys liked what you have been seeing and haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. Not only will you help me greatly to reach more people like you and me who are also into aviation live streaming content such as this, it also allows you to turn on notifications, which if it works will give you a notification whenever I go live again in the future. I'm going out several times a week for live streams around Schiphol Airport. There's always something to see and something to do. So by subscribing and putting on notifications, you are the first to know whenever I'm going out again. And if you have the time for it and are feeling like it, can join us for more action over here. Beautiful. Really, they are butter machines. A little bit of reverse thrust. Thanks to everyone who was so kind to donate super chats, super stickers, or become a member of the Aurora Sky Lounge. Your support means the world to me. Thank you all so much. I want to say thanks once again to everyone who has joined me. I hope to see you all again soon. For now, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We'll see each other again soon. Bye for now and be safe.